Welcome back, everybody. We continue now with our coverage of day 3 of the John Goodman trial. This is the DUI manslaughter case of the polo mogul and billionaire who started the polo club there out in Wellington.
He allegedly was driving drunk and killed 23-year-old Scott Wilson back in 2010. We hope to see 6 jurors. They're doing 6 jurors as opposed to 12 jurors and 2 alternates to be seated by this afternoon. Roxanne Stein has been at the courthouse with a look at what we can expect when court goes back to session. Roxanne.
Well, as you mentioned, they have taken a lunch break, Keely, and they will get back and will be hard at it at about 1:30 this afternoon, continuing to question these prospective jurors. I want to bring in Alex Sands as we begin our team coverage and talk a little bit more about this morning's questioning. It was all done by the prosecution. Only the state was questioning these prospective jurors. 37 men and women are left. What do you think they were specifically focusing in on?
Interesting to note that, because there was some sense that they might have wrapped this up by lunch. That has not happened. And
They're not even close.
Not even close. And that goes to the bigger picture of how critical it is to find those 6 impartial people that can give John Goodman a fair trial. The state want this as much as the defense does, because if they do not convict him this time, he walks, as they say, and they cannot refile any charges against him in connection with that DUI manslaughter case. So having said that, among the things you're trying to get to the bottom of in this pool today is getting a better sense of people's backgrounds, the kind of work they do for a living, how they had experiences with, say, alcoholism in their family, with crime, have they been victims of crime themselves, things that, as we know, can potentially come up in some form or fashion in this trial, and will they have a bias against that one way or the other? Of course, today's questioning in sharp contrast to what we've seen the past couple of days with so much of the coverage and the conversation about that pretrial publicity.
Tell us what you know about the case, where did you learn it from, and how do you feel about what you've learned?
Honestly, I mean, I think that he killed the kid. He was worried about himself only.
You said that Mr. Goodman had a couple of strikes against him.
I just don't think people should drive drunk and get away with it, honestly. If he did it and he's guilty, then he should pay for his crime.
Many of those people, of course, have now left this potential jury pool. We are down, as you said, from 109 to 37 this morning. Some more could go home today. Of course, all they need is 6, but how they get those 6, a lot of questions still to be asked today.
Well, you mentioned more going home today. That's exactly what everyone wants. They want to have the final 6 and 2 alternates by the end of the day. But as you talked about, they thought they might even be seated by noon. Not even close. Do you think it's going to happen by 5 o'clock today? You've been part of the team coverage, and from your observing this since Tuesday, what do you think?
There's certainly some optimism heading into this. The judge had initially set aside maybe a day and a half to get this taken care of. That has not happened. It's taken twice as long already. There is a chance if it does not happen in the next 4 or 5 hours, we could see this continuing on Tuesday morning. Of course, there's that break tomorrow and on Monday where there is no court in session.
So we will see what the rest of the day brings, Alex. Thank you very much. We'll see you later today as our team coverage continues on our evening newscast. Thank you, Alex. Let's bring our legal analyst in, local criminal defense attorney Michelle Suskauer. During the questioning this morning, the lead attorney for the state in this case is Ellen Roberts. She is not doing the questioning. Is that typical?
It is typical. It could happen in a case where there is so much to do. There's a division of responsibility. So Ellen, we're probably going to be seeing her doing openings, closings, and the lion's share of the witnesses. But Sherry Collins is doing the jury selection, as well as I see her, she argued the pretrial motions as well. So it's not unusual, but we will definitely be seeing Ellen Roberts take the lead here.
Roy Black this morning discussed the, quote, media circus, and that it could be an issue in this trial. I don't see a media circus, just my observation. A few people out doing live reports, but other than that, is he setting up for an appeal? Is he just doing all these things kind of pre-trial?
Well, I think that what he's saying is he wants to show that there is so much pre-trial publicity, there's so much pervasive pre-trial publicity that that this is going to affect the jurors coming in and out, seeing the cameras, seeing the live trucks, and that this is an issue potentially for appeal if John Goodman is convicted.
Okay.
And so he asked for individual voir dire, individual questioning, and the judge said no.
And I found that to be interesting. They're doing this group questioning.
That's right. And that's the normal way to do it. Voir dire questioning with the jury is done in a group setting. But there was individual questioning about media exposure yesterday and the day before.
All right, let's go back to what Alex and I were talking about. Let's wrap it up with this question. They thought the jury might be seated Tuesday afternoon. It's now Thursday. The talk was, it could be done by noon today. Doesn't seem to be close to even being halfway through by this afternoon. What's your thought process on a jury being seated by the end of business today, even if that's 9 o'clock tonight?
I think this judge is going to seat this jury even if he has to stay late, because there's no trial on Friday, because there's no trial on Tuesday. He doesn't want to bring a big group back on Tuesday with the possibility of media exposure all over the weekend. He wants this 6 plus the 2 alternates. I think he's going to work until he gets them.
All right, thank you, Michelle. And so it does look like those 6 jurors and 2 alternates will be seated by the end of business today, even if it is an extra long day. Again, no court tomorrow, no court on Monday, and it looks like opening statements will begin on Tuesday, and we will be here through the duration. Reporting live from downtown West Palm Beach, outside the Palm Beach County Courthouse for the entire team here, I'm Roxanne Stein, News Channel 5.
All right, thank you, Roxanne and Alex and the rest of our team, Michelle there. Stay with News Channel 5, as Rox mentioned, for the most comprehensive coverage and analysis of the Goodman trial. We will be bringing you live reports in every newscast from start to finish. You can also watch the trial live at any time at WPTV.com.